It's really, really cold. It's really, really cold. Say hi to everyone.
Hello. So here we are today. We're out here with the POWER STRIBOG. We have done a little bit to it. I've played with it a little bit, messed around, you know, with a few things. I put in a, I think it's a J&T Enterprises. I might be saying that wrong. If I am, I'll put it on the screen. But the little like 3.5 pound trigger kit definitely made a difference on the trigger. The trigger was not bad. It's really not sloppy or anything like that. It's short and crisp and has a short reset. It's actually a pretty nice stock trigger. A little bit of spring upgrade for, I think it was like $10, $15. It was really not a big deal. Woo, it is cold out here. My fingers hurt. You know, everybody talks. You see a lot of videos. Everybody talks about the recoil. The recoil on this is not bad. It's a blowback operated gun, and it does have a pretty large reciprocating mass. It's manageable, but you definitely still feel it. Like, you know, people are like, oh man, it's like nothing. I definitely still felt it. So I put the Fat Man on there to help mitigate with that a little bit. But other than that, it's a pretty sweet gun. We got a little piece of 8-inch steel down here. We're gonna take some shots at it and go from there. You just saw that, pretty consecutive little shots on a relatively small target at about 30-32 yards. Really not bad, very manageable gun. You know, very upgradable, very customizable. It's getting kind of snowed out here.
Yeah, I can't really see you. I'm sorry. I don't know if there's snow all over these lenses. I can't tell.
All right, I'm gonna dump the rest of this mag and then we'll move on to some other stuff. All right, made it through the rest of that mag. So those couple malfunctions we had there, I'm not gonna put on the gun. That was the first time I ran some of that through here, and that's Winchester forged. And anybody that's ever messed with that stuff, it is horribly rough cased ammo. It's like rubbing two pieces of chalk together. So what happened was a couple of them just got bound up in there in the top, and I mean, I've seen that happen in just about every mag we've run that stuff in, so I'm not gonna put that on this. All right guys, so now we got some Blazer brass. Some people complained as well about the little paddle. I can see that, but I mean, honestly, I got bare fingers right now, and you saw that. That wasn't, and I'm a little guy. It's getting really hard to see with all this snow. So, got a little bit more brass here. We're gonna go for just some little funsy testing here. I'm gonna do like a low ready, on target, pop one. Low ready, on target, pop one. Just to kind of get a feel for it. deal. 32 yards. Oop, missed that one. I just set this up, so don't hate too much. That's a fun gun. No complaints there. All right, let's go get warm. All right, guys. So the POWER STRIBOG sp9a1. This is the non-reciprocating charging handle model that I had added the JP Enterprises trigger 3.5 pound reduced trigger spring weight kit to, and it has done me really, really well. Now let's start in the front and work our way back, and I will tell you my thoughts on this firearm as it currently stands. Now from the factory, you will not get a Phase 5 Fat Man brake. It will come with a threaded end and a thread protector, a nicely made one, but nonetheless, 9mm, you know, blowback operated, large reciprocating mass. I mentioned it in the video. A lot of people talk in their reviews about this gun having little to no recoil. Maybe these guys are just much stronger people than me, but I still feel the muzzle rise, definitely with just the plain barrel end. You know, you will see your red dot lift up off target. Now, if you're looking for something to train with a pistol caliber carbine, and you want those quick, you know, retarget acquisitions back on zero, you're gonna want some sort of a little break. This particular one, I don't know that this will be the one that I permanently put on here. I originally put it on here because the Phase 5 Fat Man has a little bit of a shroud. The brake itself is threaded right about here. A little bit from this machined line here back just is covering a little bit of barrel, because there is a little bit of extra barrel extended out on the Stribog. And in my personal opinion, I would have appreciated just a little bit more rail. If they had brought it down, you know, another 1.5 inches, covered that up, just kind of exposed the threads at the end, in my personal opinion, that would have given you a little bit more real estate for your hand on a firearm that's already pretty small. But I understand why they didn't. They're trying to compete with, you know, MPX, Copperhead, smaller and smaller and smaller these pistol caliber carbines are getting. So moving back, you've got integrated flip up sight in the front and in the back as well. They are just a polymer plastic. They do their job, but personally, I think a note to Stribog, to POWER, would be just get rid of them. They are functional down as well as up, and when they are down, the little bit that still sticks up will tend to get in the way of a flush mounted laser unit, like something like a PEC, or in my case I had a bull dot laser that I wanted to run up here initially. I still may put it back on, but I actually took a little file and just filed off that down position front sight, because I was never going to use it, you know, and it quite frankly was, well, what it was doing was it was, you know, interfering with my laser sitting flat on the rail and canting it up a bit. And like I said, these, you know, they send you an extra set because they are probably very breakable. If you notice in the video when we were shooting, this one overhangs in the back, and you'll have a tendency to accidentally flip this one up quite a bit, and it wouldn't take much force to smack that in the side and snap it off, I don't imagine. Now, it is a single extrusion, the upper unit or body of the gun, if you will. It does have your M-LOK in front. It has a reversible non-reciprocating charging handle. And on the note of the charging handle, when you are trying to do a thumb over, it is a little in the way. You can come in behind it, but it kind of, after shooting, if you're not wearing gloves for a while, it kind of, the position that it kind of digs into the hand there is a little bit unpleasant. If the rail was, or the charging handle itself was just a little bit, it had the same contour but was still just a little bit larger and came around the thumb, that would probably feel a little bit better. Like I said, or just that other 1.5 inches of real estate, maybe you could get out here better. I was kind of, you know, hooking my front finger around and bringing it back into myself. That felt pretty good. I really think that this is dying to be an SBR type situation with a small grip that you can just really positively pull it into yourself and then still have some real estate up top without worrying about getting your hands in there for something like a laser and whatnot, because this could be a very tactical, fun little package. As we come back, there are nice markings, all seemingly laser engraved. Very nicely done. Nothing, you know, crappy looking. You've got your nice serial numbers all matching throughout, and you know, that's nice. You've got your lower. Now when you're disassembling your lower with this one, you're not going to want to pull out your front pin like you would with an AR, as this front pin has a retention pin spring system inside of it that holds the mag release, or I'm sorry, the slide release in place. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your back pin out and then lift up like you would, and if you give me a moment here, I will do that. Mine is a little bit stiff. There we go. And as you can see there, when you open it up, you have your buttstock there. Now you are just going to push down and then pull it out the back. Just give it a little shimmy, and there that goes. Now this one is from Grand Power. As you can see, it is a nut that is seated inside what is seemingly just the factory back plate, but with a piece machined to fit inside all the indentation there on the back plate. And then this is drilled through, and then, you know, you have your connection available. Now I will say this is actually a very nicely done piece. It came with a nice anti-rotation washer and everything. Very nicely done, and only about $30. So I wanted to go with the, you know, adjustable length of pull, AR-15 style stocker brace, and so we did. And as I was saying, here you have your release, all held in place, if you can see there, by your little retention spring in there. So that little pin, you don't want to lose that guy. So there's really no reason to take it down beyond that point there. You have access to everything you need. Your trigger group here. Your trigger group is housed in a little housing that sort of reminds me of a Bushmaster ACR. They have said that most AR-15 triggers will work in here, but with this sort of shaved down hammer, you may want to do a bit of extra research there just to make sure. I can confirm 100% that JP Enterprises reduced weight 3.5 pound spring kit does function in this with no light primer strikes, and it does a fantastic job. Then moving over to the booty end, if you slide your charging handle up, or well, we should say back in this case, but up as I'm holding it to you guys, you can pull out your buffer and captive spring and guide rod there. And then this large reciprocating mass here that, my goodness, I swear is most of the weight of that entire gun, is your bolt carrier group and what seems to be sort of a slide, as well as a counterbalance weight, you know, to work that whole blowback action And man, I'm not kidding. I wish I had a scale to just to get some weight on that. That is some heavy, heavy, dense steel. Now, like I said, this is the Stribog. We'll call them the A1s. I believe that's what people are referring them to, or to them as, I should say. The A1 is sort of the current model, if you're seeing this now as of, this is winter 2020. They have more models of this available, but nothing in our country yet. So the newer model, I believe it is the sp9a1, will take a AR-15 style handle, which is not a bad thing. You know, it gives you more customization, but this is not a bad grip at all. I really actually enjoy this grip and do not mind it at all being polymer. It does not feel weird. It does not feel shitty at all. It also is something that we're working on, or maybe have completed already, is a roller delayed blowback system. Now, from what I have heard, it is not supposed to be so complex that it's going to be a completely new gun that is going to totally change and make this gun obsolete, so much as it would be something that is a possible upgrade even for this gun. So as you can see here, your slide and your bolt come apart very easily. It's just a channel that slides right into, and then you're back in business. Now with the roller delayed system, I believe all that will be housed here in the bolt carrier mechanism. So potentially something to be excited about, that I'm hoping is going to be the case, is that it might just be a matter of a replacement for this, which wouldn't break the bank account, and then that would just go into your sp9a1, essentially upgrading your gun to a sp9a3, well, minus the ability to change to an AR-15 style pistol grip. This gun is very dirty. You can tell we have been shooting the ever-loving crap out of it and having a good time with it. So that being said, I have really enjoyed this firearm. I've got definitely at least over 1,000 rounds. I haven't really been keeping too good a track on this one, but I know it's over 1,000. I've taken it out shooting quite a few times now. I've had a few opportunities to go out with some friends, and then, you know, the first time I got it, I took it out. And then just over the weekend here shooting this video for you guys and for YouTube, I had it out again. And I mean, it is flawlessly functioned, except for that one magazine we had a little hang up on just in the top, a few bullets with that Winchester forged. But like I said, that ammo, that is such rough cased ammo. It's so bad. You know, it shoots, and the gun did actually run the rest of the mag of it. It's just, I'm not going to put that on this at all. It's run everything brass I've ever put through it, and it's run everything steel case that I've ever put through it that wasn't that forged stuff. So anything like Tula or otherwise that has, you know, a smoother steel case, you'll be absolutely fine with. So anything that I would change besides what we had mentioned, yeah, just those sights, maybe a little bit more forend, a little bit different charging handle. People complain about, you know, the slide release being too small. I actually don't think it's a problem. It feels very just streamlined, and you just kind of rub right across it with your finger. It's enough, more than enough there to catch, and it does go home no problem. It's a little harder to release when there's nothing in the gun, but when there's a mag and it's ready to go, it just drops and goes. The new end plate as it stands with the adapter and stuff like that in it, when I did get it, it was very snug. It was a little bit difficult to not get it in, but as you have to slide it up in the channel, it was a little bit tight. I did grab a rubber mallet and give it a few knocks just to get it in there, so it does sort of make the alignment of this lower pin sometimes a little tight if it's not absolutely dead nuts in place. Other than that, you know, which is something that will break in over time, you know, not a very big deal. I'd rather have tighter tolerances than looser ones. This is an absolutely flawless, very fun gun with a lot of rich features packed into it. things like, you know, a flared mag well. You don't get that on a lot of cheap guns, you know. Like, you do have, you know, a few sacrifices like the polymer handle, but the polymer handle feels really good. I mean, it doesn't have a door, which it could, you know, for a little battery storage or something like that, but honestly, it seems like things are kind of going away from that anyway, so that's not a huge deal or a deal breaker. You could, you know, always run a stock or a brace that was capable of maybe having a little storage in the back or something like that. It has nice ambidextrous controls, as you can see. And should you, at this point in the disassembly, want to, you could, having taken your charging handle all the way back to the circular indentation, remove it. You got to get it right in the spot, and it will just come right out. This is also, if you so choose, when you could slide the reciprocating mass back that the charging handle rides on and pull that out for some oiling, if you so choose to do so at that point. So for any of you that watch Grand Thumb's channel, he said that he liked running it opposite like an AK, which maybe I'll try just because it was kind of getting in the way of the thumb there. And old Grand Thumb, he does seem to know his business, so perhaps I will take a note out of his playbook while we've got it here and try that on. That doesn't feel bad. Oh, whoops. I could deal with that. And now, in the fashion of most of these fancy tactile weapons of the day, reassembly is a breeze. You'll notice you have that large square shaped channel up above there for your giant brick to slide right back into. In that channel will be a hole for your spring. Slide it in, and as I said, mine is a little hard to click up. It doesn't really click, it just kind of binds there, but we'll smack it into place. And there you have it. A little greasy, a little fingerprinty, but no worse for wear. An absolutely cool firearm. Really, anything I have to say negative about this firearm here is pretty superficial. You know, like I said, just little things that would change. You could just remove them, knock the pins out. They do make a little end now I've seen that has a angled foregrip that goes on it that adds a little bit more real estate out to the front, so you could try that if you wanted to. But for the prices that these are going for, most places can't seem to even keep them on the shelves, and I can understand why. You know, I think I picked this one up for like $6.70 or something like that. I'll have to put it on the screen when I figure it out, but I got 4 mags with this. It was from someplace I'd never ordered before, Gun Pro Deals, and it was the firearm, no brace adapter, just the pistol itself, and 4 magazines, which retail seemingly anywhere around $33 to $35, double stack, double feed magazines. And you know, that can be a deal breaker sometimes, is, you know, if you can't find mags, you know, what do you do then? So I got 4 of them with it, and I was pretty happy with that. But you know, somewhere in that ballpark, around $650, you seem to see these kind of bare bones with just the 3 mags, which is nice that it comes with 3 mags from the factory. But a 4th mag, hey, very cool. And then from there on, you can get them with sort of the MP5 style stock. You can do the adapter like this, and so on and so forth. Well, thank you guys. That is it for today. Have a good one.